Introducing Be Heavenly, where nature meets purity. Our 100% natural virgin cold-pressed oils are a blend of goodness and flavor. From coconut to sunflower, groundnut to sesame, safflower to mustard, we've got your culinary needs covered. Elevate your dishes with the essence of nature. Be heavenly. Taste the difference today.
Hello and welcome to Dr. VGP Talk Show. Hello and welcome to Dr. VGP Talk Show that reaches 42 million households, including 2 million across America. In this episode of Dr. VGP Talk Show, you're going to learn about some enlightening and amazing facts about food. We hear all the time about food binging, about snacks, about organic food, about gluten-free food. Where does this all take us to? We are here today at one of the top third university for agriculture science in North America and the top fourth in the whole world. The Purdue University College of Agriculture Food Science Department, where they transform lives through the science of food. You're going to meet this petite, dynamic, dynamite Dean's Chair in Food Science, a young Turkish American who's leading and transforming ways the indigenous department of Purdue University's Food Science is working in research, industry collaborative partnership, and churning out one of the best, most productive, erudite young food scientists for all over the world. Meet Dr. Senay Simsek, Dean's Chair in Food Science at the Purdue University's College of Agriculture.
Welcome to Department of Food Science at Purdue University. Currently, we are located in Nelson Hall of Food Science, and I would like to provide a brief information about Dr. Phil Nelson, who is the founder of Food Science Department at Purdue University. We have the real size of Phil Nelson in the department because he is an important figure, and he is the creator of this department in 1983. The food science program has a long history at Purdue University, but it became an official department, academic department in 1983, and Phil Nelson was the first department head and served as department head for 20 years at Purdue University in food science. And you may wonder why there is a ship display in the Department of Food Science. It's because of Dr. Phil Nelson's innovations and research in aseptic food processing. And this is a model ship given to Dr. Phil Nelson as a gift by the company who was using this ship. And it was designed to transfer concentrated fresh orange juice from Brazil to United States. With these conditions, maintaining maintaining quality of the orange juice flavor and prevent microbial contamination and spoilage is very important. So you need to have very well practiced aseptic processing conditions. Again, Dr. Phil Nelson has significant research investments and research projects around aseptic processing, which is very critical for the life of any food product. And to show appreciation to Phil Nelson, the company gave this ship model to Dr. Nelson, and he donated this ship to Department of Food Science. This is why we display in the department. So Department of Food Science has 28 faculty members, and we have 4 main research areas of focus. Those are food processing and manufacturing, food chemistry and structure, foods for health, and food safety and microbiology. And we have about 150 undergraduate students with 2 majors. One is food science, and the second one is fermentation science. We also offer minor in food science, fermentation sciences, and pet food processing. We are very industry-faced department. We have a formal industrial associates program, and we currently have 22 members. Today is September 5, 2024, is one of the special days in the Department of Food Science at Purdue University. Why? Because we are hosting most of our industrial associates members in the department, and they are now currently talking with students, engaging with them, providing feedback about so industry representatives are providing feedback about student resumes. So today is a special day, and I'm glad that we are able to display and showcase our interactions with industry. So we have a formal industrial associates programs, and we have multiple centers in the department. They are funded by industrial associates program members. And some of those centers are Whistler Center for Carbohydrate Research, again, Food Entrepreneurship and Manufacturing Institute, and also departmental level industry.
So we have CONAG right here.
Yes, some of the example and member companies are PepsiCo.
Kellogg's is right there.
Yes, Kellogg's is one of the members.
Nabisco.
Yes, yes.
Frito-Lay.
Yes.
Wow, you have all the American and General Mills.
ADM.
Wow. Cargill.
Cargill, yes. And Nestle.
Kraft Foods, Nestle, Hershey's.
Yes.
Hercules.
But we also have some international partners. Harashibara is a company in Japan.
Wow. Campbell Soup.
Yes.
Fantastic. So these are all the industrial partners. So you're a very full-fledged, successful department integrating into the industry.
Yes.
So you make sure that your graduates have ready-made market for their careers in the top 20 American food industry magnets.
Yes, we call it translational approach because we do basic research, but how they are relevant to applied area and how consumers can have access. We are very industry-based department, and we want to make sure that all graduate students are workforce ready.
This is a very interesting, is it? The Millet circle.
Yes, this is sorghum, and in the memory of Dr. John Axtell, distinguished professor of agronomy at Purdue, and he was also a member of the National Academy.
He was a famous plant geneticist.
Yes, he was very famous plant genetics, and he was collaborating with Dr. Bruce Hemaker, who is
The Whistler Center.
Yes, he is the director of Whistler Center.
On-
Dr. Bruce Hemaker has extensive research on sorghum and millet and oil grain
It's
species.
the International Sorghum and Millet.
Yes.
Hello and welcome to Dr. VGP Talk Show that reaches 42 million households, including 2 million households across America. Today our guest is none other than Dr. Senay Simsek.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Vijay, for hosting me.
Thank you. Dr. Senay Simsek is in the black and gold Purdue Colors University. We are here at Purdue University Food Science Department, which transforms lives through the science of food. And you know, food is so important today. So we're going to get into a candid discussion about what's happening within the walls of this great university. Purdue University is rated, the College of Agriculture is rated one of the top 3 in the country and maybe the top 4 in the world. And we are here with the Dean's Chair in Food Science, Professor Dr. Senay Simsek. She is one of the only Turkish Americans today who heads the Department of Food Science in the whole of North America. Ma'am, it's such a privilege to have you on Dr. VGP Talk Show. Could you briefly tell our viewers how your growing up in Turkey was?
Yes, thank you so much, Vijay, for hosting me this workshop. I follow your workshop, and it's an honor for me to be in one of the workshops as a guest. And I was born in Turkey, Istanbul, I'm not going to say exact year, in sometime in 1970s.
You are young forever,
Yes.
don't worry.
Mid-1970s. And I grew up in Turkey, and I always had passion for science. So my family still is located in Turkey. We are 4 sisters, and my father was an electrician, working class, and my mother was a housewife and taking care of children at home. I have 3 sisters. They are all in Turkey. I completed my elementary school and middle school with them. For high school, I went to a boarding school in nursing. And following that, I completed my undergrad degree in chemistry, and I started my master's degree in biochemistry at Gebze Institute of Technology. During that time, I met with my lovely husband, and we got married. And I started my PhD also in Turkey in biochemistry, but I had an opportunity to visit Purdue University in 2002. And we have decided to start our education journey in the United States. So I came to Purdue University Department of Food Science to have a PhD in food chemistry.
Wow, it's so wonderful, Dr. Simsek. She's an alumni of Purdue University Food Science Department, did her PhD in 2002 here, and today, in 2024, she heads the Department of Food Science. How incredible is that? What a wonderful journey. Today, as the Dean's Chair in Food Science in Purdue University, Dr. Simsek, where do you see, we have a lot of talk today about organic food, whole food. We have this whole trend is focusing today on food. You know, the whole focus is turned that if you take the proper food, you don't need to take medicine. As you can see, there's so much of focus today on food. Mm-hmm. So take it from there. What is your department doing, and what are you contributing towards this whole, the world's focus today? IT has had its share, information technology. Everywhere is booming, it's done, it's gone into artificial intelligence. Now the focus is today agriculture. It's one of the biggest economic in any country, and today in the United States. And food is being focused in incredibly so much in all the forums, because I think they are now everybody has come to realize is what we take in is what the output is. Whether they say you can take food as medicine or medicine as food. You know, a lot of people today are taking medicine as their staple food instead of the other way. You should take food as medicine, take the right food. So go ahead, Dr. Sami. Tell us what's happening today in your institution.
Food is very important in everyone else's life, because as long as we are not turned into robots, everybody has to eat. Food is centered in every culture. And there was a statement by IFT. IFT is Institute of Food Technologies. It's a scientific society for all the food scientists around the world. And that statement says, food brings people together. Food science, food science brings disciplines together. So food science is a very multidisciplinary field involving engineering, chemistry, statistics, and many, many different areas. And it's one of the core missions in the big picture of agriculture. So where the food industry today is we took a very critical turning point during the COVID times, and everybody had to stop and pause where the food comes from, because we had a shortage of certain ingredients. We had to be more creative. So one of the biggest challenges in today's food industry is again, there are some hot and trendy topics for today, but then also future challenges. Everybody talks about 2050 challenge. How are we going to feed 3 billion more people with 30% less land in agriculture and 30% less agriculture workers, manpower in the agriculture industry. So the food science has very heavy weight to lift, and how are we going to produce more food with less resources and less workers in the area? So everybody talks about, again, the 2050 challenge, creating future foods, and one of the battles, again, one of the research areas we focus on is developing how you can do more with less source. How are we going to create future foods that are going to be healthy, they are going to be nutritious, and it has to taste good. If it doesn't taste good, nobody eats. Even though you can have all the health claims, if it doesn't taste good, nobody eats.
You've talked, Dr. Simsek, on a very important aspect, that in 2015 there'll be 3 billion extra people in the world, 30% less land to cultivate in agriculture, and 30% less manpower for agricultural laborers. And so tell us about the interesting laboratories where research is going on in your department. I know you have a very active food processing, fermentation process. You have a food laboratory. Tell our viewers about all the interesting stuff going on here.
Yes, so we have 4 major research areas in the department. Again, food chemistry structure is very important because that determines the texture and the flavor of many foods that we consume. Fermentation science is one area that we focus. We started to offer that as a major. And how can you use fermentation technologies to develop some of the ingredients in the lab environment? There has been lots of research on precision fermentation, because as you mentioned, food as medicine is another area that we want to focus, and we call it foods for health. How our diet impacts our health and long-term prevention of chronic diseases. So those are some of the important areas. There is also another trendy topic is alternative proteins. Proteins are very important part of human diet, and currently animal sources are one of the main areas that we get our protein, but what could be the other alternative sources of proteins? So we have a huge investment and research initiatives around plant-based proteins, meat analogs, and we have a new extruder system. Extruder means that you can generate those type of high moisture plant-based proteins and meat analogs in the lab environment. And how
so that's like vegan.
Yes,
meat.
Vegan diet, yes.
Okay.
And how we can make that product very similar to meat and also tastes very good, and it's also healthy and nutritious. So we are working on, we are trying to tackle today's challenges, but also invest on future potential problems, and how, again, we can generate some of the targeted compounds in the lab environment that are important for flavor, health, is a food ingredient.
Indeed, you are transforming lives, like your tagline for your food science department is the science of food. Interestingly, you were telling me earlier on that Hershey's, the brand of chocolates, when they test out new brands, they use your food chemistry lab, right? So tell us, what are the different uses and the industry uses of your food chemistry lab?
Yes. So we have again 4 main research areas in the department, and we also have a formal sensory facilities.
Sensory, okay.
Yes, sensory facilities, and there are multiple companies utilizing those facilities. And one of the examples, if you have a new product, you do not know if consumers are going to prefer that product over whatever is out there in the market. So there are different ways of conducting sensory experiments. And so many food companies, they use our sensory facilities to test new products. We also provide analytical, we call it analytical services or testing agreements. Some food companies, they have great research and development. We call that R&D facilities. And some companies, they prefer to work with universities to do R&D research and development activities. So we work very closely with food industry. We provide analytical services. Just one example, how much protein is available in the sample? What is the makeup of that protein? Because proteins could be a wide range of, they can have wide range of chemistry. So we, again, work, Hershey is one of them. We have, again, partnership with many other major food companies in the United States.
Now that's interesting. Purdue University has a campus of 55,000 students, right,
Yes.
who go through. And it's one of the most large land-based universities in the United States of America. Purdue is known for its engineering institution. I know there's one of the largest number of Indian students who are studying in Purdue University, and the government of India has a special scholarship program where 250 Indian students are given scholarships to study here. Now, the food science department, could you tell our viewers what are the different levels, career opportunities you've explained is growing? As we can see today, you had 20 American agriculture industry representatives present, and you're having a career fair. You know, so tell us what are the different courses your department offers, and how I see that all the top 20 and over companies are coming over here to grab your students on the job fair. So explain the different levels of degrees your institution offers.
Yes. So Purdue, as you mentioned, about around 55,000 undergraduates. So Purdue, in average, around 55,000 students on the West Lafayette campus. And today we are hosting a Student Professional Development Day activity in the department, and we have more than 20 food companies represented.
Could you mention some of the companies?
Yeah, some of the names. I feel bad if I forget some of the names, but we have PepsiCo, Conagra, Heartland Foods,
yes.
Hershey, Menal Milling,
General Mills.
Yes, General Mills, yes. Diego, Red Gold, yes, Red Gold is another one.
Newlywed Food.
Yes, Newlywed Foods, thank you so much. So we have more than 22 companies here, and they are helping, interacting with students, and they are providing feedback about their resumes. Sometimes they do on-site interviews for internship positions and maybe full-time positions.
So you have a bachelor's degree, you have a master's degree,
Yes.
and you have a PhD program.
Yes, we offer a bachelor's degree in food science and fermentation science. We also have a graduate program in food science, and we offer PhD and master's in food science.
Excellent, excellent.
And again, this industry partnership helps us to train the best in the nation, and so that they are workforce ready when they are leaving the Purdue University with Purdue Food Science degree. And Purdue University being a large land-grant university, there are multiple professional development opportunities for students. They can take classes, but then there are lots of opportunities. If somebody wants to have a leadership opportunity, they want to have a club, they want to do a minor in computer science, digital agriculture. The opportunities are endless, and this is the place, again, in the Department of Food Science. They are having the Big 10 university experience with tremendous opportunities on the campus, but then it's a family-like environment in the food science department. Professors know names of the students, and they get a personalized educational experience in the department.
That's wonderful to know that the Food Science Department of College of Agriculture, Purdue University is leading as one of the top 10 and is producing the most sought after food science graduates in the food industry today. Dr. Simsek, what would you say is your focus for the next 5 years?
Yes. Next 5 years for Department of Food Science, we are known and we are leading some of the certain areas in the food science department. One of the areas that we are known is aseptic food processing.
Aseptic?
Yes. Aseptic,
could you explain that?
Yes,
what is it? It's a very new term, aseptic.
Yes. Aseptic food processing means that I will use very layman terminologies.
Yes.
You make the food, you produce the food in the company, in industrial setting, and you clean all the microorganisms, you remove all the microorganisms and spores in the food. Think about you boil your milk or pasteurize your milk, and then you need to pack that so it can go to the shelf. So you clean also the packaging, and you pack your food in a microorganism and germ-free environment. This is aseptic processing. Think about apple juice or all the baby food that you can buy from stores. They are stored at room temperature for weeks, for months in some cases. How is that possible? How come you can make an apple puree or potato puree or apple juice and you can store that at room temperature for weeks and months? It's the technology of aseptic processing.
Oh, very interesting.
And again, Purdue Food Science is one of the major and leading departments. I think we are the leading department on aseptic processing training. We have been hosting aseptic processing workshop more than 40 years.
Wow.
Yes, and every time it's a full house. We have waiting list when we have the workshop sign up, and lots of attendees all around the world come to Purdue Food Science to learn about aseptic processing. We are also leading department in the area of food chemistry, having the Whistler Center for Carbohydrate Research. It was established in 1996, and we are the only food science department in the US having the Carbohydrate Research Center.
Wow, that's
Yes.
interesting, very interesting.
Yeah, we also have leading faculty members in the foods for health area, food safety, and gut microbiome is another area that we are very strong in these research areas. Sustainable food systems. So going back to your question, where are we going next 5 years? It's impossible that one department is number one and the best in every single discipline in the food science, and I acknowledge that. But we want to remain top and well known in the areas that we have the mark already. And also we want to make sure that we are catching up with trends and technologies, and we are in the forefront of science of food. That's one of the areas, again, we will be focusing on precision fermentation, food as medicine, and future foods. So those are some of the areas that we want to
You
focus.
very rightly said future foods.
Yes.
Talking about future foods, you did host a historic roundtable on millets in North America in October in your department, which got worldwide publicity for being the first time a roundtable on millets, which is a sorghum and ragi grain, for the International Year of Millets being celebrated across the world. But in North America, you had a scientific forum along with the Indian Institute of Millet Research and the Nutri Hub from Hyderabad, India. You had representatives from the U.S. House Committee on Agriculture and the Senate Committee of Agriculture, your Dean of Agriculture. Now, today we hear that you're going to host the first GSA Millets Expo on November 8th and 9th. Tell us about that. And I think it's a future food. Millets is a very saturated cereal, and you're going to bring the industries, the forefront agriculture and food industries to learn about millets and have millet products. So tell us what's the vision and mission of this GSA Millets Expo, which your department is planning to host on November 8th and 9th. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Vijay, for the opportunity again. As you know, year of 2023 was the International Millet Year, and I had privilege to host the roundtable meeting at Purdue University Department of Food Science, and it was well attended. And it was the day we initiated and we planted many seeds of innovation. Innovation around grain chemistry, developing healthy food products for future generations, and also diversifying the United States, US agriculture. And as you know, millet is including a wide range of grains, pearl millet, like sorghum is another species of millet. And there are very active research programs around sorghum genetics and sorghum plant science metabolisms at Purdue University campus. So again, I am very excited about the November meeting because last summer I had an opportunity to visit International Millet Research Institute in Hyderabad, and we had great, very functional, very effective, very exciting discussions with that research team there. And I'm very excited about their visit in November here, so we can follow up whatever we discuss. We have great ideas how we can take this initiative to next level, and we can work together. I say you as the Hyderabad, but the Hyderabad Millet Research Institute, they have a great germplasm and potential, and how we can use some of those collaborative research and use some of our expertise to develop future food products using this incredible grain.
Well, that's exciting to know. I also learned that you're planning to have a plot of land where you can actually grow millet here, which millet, specifically, like you said earlier, can grow in adverse weather as well as with very minimum irrigation facilities. So that will be a new crop of patch you're planning to start millet seeds and develop them and cultivate them. That's exciting. So you are on the right path. Like you said, future foods. You're one ahead of your time, I think. And I think this initiative of yours will revolutionize the whole agriculture landscape of America when you try to bring in a gluten-free grain like millet and change in the SNAP program and introduce it everywhere. You're truly a visionary. As you can see, friends, here we have a young Turkish American, if I may refer that, who is revolutionizing food science technology today by not only her efforts and leadership role in aseptic food processing, as you heard about the food fermenting, which is one of her favorites, her research in grains, which is and especially with sorghum and pearl millets, and also the different initiatives what she's undertaking with such a remarkable erudite journey, which is unusual to see on a campus setting, which is very important today, the academic and industry collaborative effort. And that's what's the essence of your teaching, your research, when you can have your graduates go into the industry and work for the industry. I saw some of your alumni today who are working for all the top industry banks come back to recruit the students from your campus. I mean, that must be a real fulfilling gesture for you to see all you and the faculty's hard work going into it. As you said, you have sowing seeds of innovation, sowing seeds of growth for the future foods. Now, with such a hectic lifestyle, you travel around the world. You were in Japan, you were in the World Food Festival in Iowa, presenting papers and posters, as well as overseeing this very critical and integral part of the department, which is making a great difference in people's lives. What do you do in your spare time? And you're looking very young and vibrant, by the way. Is the food you eat? What's the secret?
Yeah, thank you so much, Vijay. I spend, whenever I have free time, I like to spend with my family. So I have 4 children, and we go out, we bike, we play sports, and I really enjoy watching my son playing basketball, and we play pickleball and tennis. So whenever I have free time, I try to spend with family and children.
Great. And Purdue is such a great university with the university basketball 7'4" player. Earlier you were showing us about it, and the campus is so beautiful and environmental
friendly. We played the final championship game last year. So we were placed 2nd in the nation.
Wow! Congratulations to the Purdue Boilers. Is that right?
We are called Boilermakers. So Boilermaker Express is the official mascot of the Purdue University. gold and black.
Wow, let's keep going, forging ahead. In concluding this very enlightening interview, we're going to come back more and hear about all the great strides you're doing, the industry collaborative effort, your research effort, your Millet project, which will be of great interest to us if you're going to change the landscape of America's agriculture and what's this food we place on our table, gluten-free millet grains and millet products. Could you tell us, if you're given the opportunity of taking 3 people from the past or present out for dinner, who would those 3 people be?
Yes, that's a very tough question because there are so many people who have significant impact on my life. And I would like to start with someone from my family. I would like to say my mom, because starting in early age, she really encouraged me to do challenging things. She taught me how to challenge myself so I can elevate to the next level.
What's her name?
Seniha.
Seniha.
Yes,
okay.
yes, thank you. And the second person I would like to say is Madame Curie.
Madame Curie, of
Yes.
course. She won the Nobel Prize twice.
2 times, and she's the only woman doing that. And she had great passion, and she went through very difficult and challenging times in her life. But she remained passionate for science. And I would like to say I am a grain chemist. I'm very passionate about having my science having impact on the population and humans' life. I would like to take Norman Borlaug.
Norman Borlaug,
Yes,
yes.
he is the father of Green Love Revolution. I wish I had an opportunity to take him to dinner with me someday.
Great. I mean, Dr. Senay Simsek, the charming, vibrant Dean's Chair in Food Science Department of Purdue University College of Engineering. If she has given an opportunity to take 3 of her favorite heroes, would be one, her mother, Senay, who challenged her and who made her excel, and she credits the success to her perseverance in making her what she is today. And then, of course, Madame Curie is a role model. She won the Nobel Prize twice, and the only woman to do that, if I'm not mistaken. And then is Dr. Norman Borlaug, who is the father of the Green Revolution. The World Food Prize, I think, is named after Norman Borlaug,
Yes.
given every year by the World Food Organization in Des Moines, Iowa.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So those are her 3 heroes in life. Dr. Simsek, you're such an erudite scholar with so much of energy, and we are seeing your action speaks louder than words, and we see you are an exquisite piece of excellence in everything that you do. Whether it's your students, your fellow faculty, your interaction with your dean, with the chancellors, we're seeing you in action, seeing you when you visit different places. You're going to South Africa, you went to Japan, you're different countries, and you're talking about food science. You're becoming an expert and authority. Now, I must say your fashion sense is splendid. Your black and gold matching attire today from your Purdue pin, and not miss your shoes are black and gold too, the pair of sneakers which you got on.
I bleed black and gold.
You bleed black and gold, exactly. So how will you describe yourself in 3 words or 3 adjectives?
Oh, that's a tough question, Vijay. I will say curiosity, so I am curious. It's very important for any scientist.
Absolutely.
And passionate. So I call that I'm passionate about whatever I do. You told me I do a long list of things. I don't know. I don't even see that my life as a work. I don't feel like I'm coming to work every day because I really
enjoy what you do.
I enjoy what I do, and it doesn't even feel like work. And the last thing I would say is integrity and
you're a visionary dreamer, would you
say?
say?
Yeah, I want to say like integrity is very important part of my life, but I would call myself as a dreamer.
Wow, very well said.
Because where I am today, I want to dream big and hope for the best. So I would call in summary, I'm curious, I'm passionate, and I am a dreamer.
Beautiful. You just heard Dr. Simsek describing herself as curious, passionate, and a dreamer. And you're dreaming big. I mean, she's the first food scientist in America to take up millets. Imagine if millets, a gluten-free grain cereal, is taken up into all our diets in America, will be disease-free. She dreams big, and we are so excited. Thank you so much, Dean's Chair Simsek, for joining us on Dr. VGP Talk Show amongst your busy schedule. And we are so enlightened and empowered by listening to such a curious, passionate dreamer, America's foremost food scientist in our midst today. In parting, in concluding, what is your message? Everybody wants to learn today about food, whether it's healthy foods, if it's what you call the future foods, whether it's the food, organic foods, food for medicine, food as medicine. What would you tell our 42 million viewers today who are eagerly waiting to learn about food? Of course, they're going to watch, going to keep abreast with all your revolutionary and transforming research work going on in Purdue University Food Science Department. But tell us briefly, what would be your parting words to us? So, whatever you feel about today. It's all yours, Dr. Simsek.
Yes, thank you, Vijay. So we are what we eat, and I want to say that we should be careful about what we are putting into our bodies. Whatever we consume, it's going to get into our cells. We are going to keep it in our body for a while. So it's very important that we should pay attention to composition of food that you want to eat. But also, one take-home message I have is, do not believe everything you hear on media or television or TikToks about some of the false claims. Very true. So do your own, research. Talk to scientists, and there are tremendous amount of scientific information, scientific sources that are available for any consumer to read about the science of food. And again, Institute of Food Technology, Department of Food Science, we have lots of information available for consumers. So again, we are what we eat. We have to be careful about what type of food products that we are consuming, and we are not believing everything we hear about these false claims on the food.
You very well summarized your wonderful advice to us, and we thank you so much, Dr. Simsek, for joining us. It's been an enjoyable afternoon here in Purdue University West Lafayette campus, and you gave us so much food for thought. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
It was a
Vijay.
pleasure.
It's my pleasure.
Introducing Be Heavenly, where nature meets purity. Our 100% natural virgin cold-pressed oils are a blend of goodness and flavor. From coconut to sunflower, groundnut to sesame, safflower to mustard, we've got your culinary needs covered. Elevate your dishes with the essence of nature. Be heavenly. Taste the difference today.